The record of this day will be whispered with awe and dread. Martial God Asura, chapter 867 to 8868, marks the return of Chu Feng, whose name alone cracks the air with tension. The plaza of the Stone Sword Sect is shattered, scarred by explosions meant to erase him, yet he stands, calm, mocking, untouchable. Sect Head Shi trembles beneath the weight of memory and fear, recalling the Arctic killing formation and the 6 elders whose lives he cannot avenge. Even Lord Yan, stalwart of the Immortal Execution Archipelago, feels the unsettling shift in power. As the dust settles and gazes fix upon Chu Feng, one question hangs like steel in the wind. What reckoning will descend next upon the winter plains? Listen closely, for the winds of destiny are shifting, and a storm is approaching the winter plains. A name echoes across the frozen mountains, a name that makes even the bravest hearts falter. Chu Feng. Yes, it is him, the relentless, the unstoppable force whose presence alone bends the air with menace. The moment he appeared atop the plaza, the gathered crowd of disciples and masters alike froze in disbelief. The peak experts of the palace, renowned for their mastery and pride, instinctively rose, their gazes sharp and hostile, as though a living tempest had materialized before them. The disciples scattered, floating upward into the cold sky, seeking distance, instinct whispering that this man was no ordinary cultivator. His reputation had preceded him, a name etched with terror and blood, the sworn enemy of the crippling night demon sect. To them, Chu Feng was a living avalanche, a danger beyond comprehension. Yet among them all, the man whose heart hammered with the deepest dread was the head of the Stone Sword Sect. He alone had witnessed the full measure of Chu Feng's strength, the merciless precision of his martial arts, and the cruelty that lingered in every calculated strike. He could not forget the Arctic killing formation, the torture that had carved agony into his bones, nor the moment when only the timely arrival of the third immortal had spared him further torment. Now, facing Chu Feng again, fear gripped him to the marrow, a fear so ancient and visceral it made him tremble inside, though he masked it with cold resolve. The sect head's voice rang out, sharp and commanding, carrying over the tense silence like the clang of a sword against stone. Chu Feng, you dare show your face in my sect once more. Do you think I will overlook your insolence? Do you think you can defy me and live? Chu Feng's laugh shattered the tension, a booming, mocking sound that rolled across the plaza like a thunderclap. Spared my life? How amusing. Have you forgotten the torment you endured in the Arctic killing formation? Do you think I would let such memories fade so easily? His words dripped with ridicule, each syllable a whip of scorn. The crowd stirred uneasily, whispers spreading like wildfire. Arctic killing formation? Torture? Eyes darted from one face to another, seeking understanding. They looked to the sect head, seeking guidance, but his face betrayed nothing of the truth. Pride chained his tongue. He could not admit the horrors he had survived, the near death that Chu Feng had orchestrated. To do so would shatter his authority, strip him of every shred of dignity he had painstakingly built. Voices erupted from the crowd, fiery and relentless. Sect Head Shi! Don't give him mercy! Remember the 6 elders he slew! Make him pay as he deserves! The echoes of wrath resonated across the plaza, a chorus demanding vengeance. Kill him! Kill him! The recollection of those fallen elders ignited a storm of fury. The sect head's heart pounded like a war drum. He knew the truth, knew his own limits. He could not hope to defeat Chu Feng in a fair fight. The realization sent a chill down his spine, yet he forced himself to stand tall, had to face the reckoning with the steel of command. Chu Feng's gaze held him, serene yet mocking. Afraid, are you? Without the forbidden medicine? Do you tremble? Or is it that you fear exposure, that the truth of your weakness might be revealed? His voice was a knife, cutting into pride, into authority, leaving only raw vulnerability. The sect head's anger surged, but it was laced with desperation. He cast a desperate glance at Lord Yan standing behind him, the third immortal's loyal subordinate, a silent guardian who conveyed reassurance without a word. A mental message flowed through their bond. Go. I will guard your honor. He shall not humiliate you. Relief flickered in the sect head's eyes. With Lord Yan by his side, he had hope. Chu Feng, no matter how formidable, was not invincible against a rank 8 martial lord's might. He lifted his palms, weaving his aura into a tempest of martial energy. With a roar, he unleashed a torrent of glowing hands that descended like meteor showers, the earth quaking beneath their force. This was no ordinary strike. It was a killing blow, a display of rank 8 martial mastery that could obliterate mountains. Yet Chu Feng remained, unshaken, a solitary figure amidst the fury, his stance calm and unyielding. The crowd gasped, confusion spreading like wildfire. Is he mad? Does he seek death? Explosions erupted where the Sect Head's strike struck the plaza, shockwaves tearing through stone and air. The ground itself seemed to tremble, the battlefield transformed into chaos. Every observer braced for the inevitable, convinced that Chu Feng's end had come. Then, as if the heavens themselves intervened, a mighty gale swept the carnage aside. Dust and shockwaves were torn away and Chu Feng reappeared, calm and unscathed. The plaza was shattered around him, craters and fissures marking the fury that had just passed. Yet he stood unbowed, a faint, mocking smile on his lips, hand clasped behind his back. Even Lord Yan's expression shifted, disbelief etched into every line. The onlookers' faces mirrored the impossible truth. They had witnessed the destruction of the plaza, the unleashing of a terrifying martial skill, and yet Chu Feng remained alive, untouched, invincible in that moment. A legend walked among them, and the winter plains would tremble at his name once more. A storm of tension hung over the Stone Sword Sect, a palpable dread that gripped the hearts of all who stood atop its grand palace. Whispers raced like wildfire. Could this truly be the same Chu Feng who had once fled before Sect Head Shi? Or had some impossible power awakened within him? The head of the Stone Sword Sect, is this all he has? Chu Feng's voice carried a mocking lilt, cutting through the hushed murmurs like a sharp blade. Sect Head Shi Jingtian's lips twitched, his face contorted with a mixture of fury and disbelief. His eyes flicked toward the spectators gathered above, expecting admiration, yet instead found their gazes fixed upon him with a dangerous curiosity. The weight of expectation pressed down on him. On one hand, Chu Feng's aura was terrifying, a terrifying crescendo compared to their last encounter. To continue the fight was to dance with a force far beyond normal comprehension. On the other, the crowd believed the Sect Head invincible, eagerly awaiting Chu Feng's demise and the grand display of his might. He was trapped, riding a tiger whose claws threatened to shred him. There was no retreat, only battle remained. With a low, resolute breath, Sect Head Shi acted, a palm flick. An ancient gesture of the Stone Sword Sect, and a sword materialized, carved from the very heart of stone itself. Light rippled across its surface, the runes etched into its blade vibrating with the congregation of martial power. Shi was no longer channeling merely his own energy. He drew upon the very aura of the surrounding sect, bending it into the sword as though awakening a caged beast. The runes trembled, quivering with fury, eager to rend flesh and bone. The Stone Sword Execution, some spectators whispered, awestruck. It is said to surpass even a rank 9 martial skill when mastered. Excitement erupted. Today, we will witness Sect Head Shi unleash it. Let us see if that monster Chu Feng can withstand such fury. Their voices trembled with both fear and anticipation. Sect Head Shi's pride surged with their cries. Chu Feng! Audacious wretch! You have slain my elders and dared defile my sect. Today, with this stone sword, your life shall end. A blinding radiance erupted as the stone sword surged forward, a whirlwind of martial energy hurling toward Chu Feng with a force that split the ground beneath it. Cracks spider-webbed across the plaza, the stone floor shattering under the weight of the sword's aura. Yet Chu Feng stood unmoving, hands folded behind him, a faint smile curling on his lips. He made no attempt to dodge. He did not flinch. The sword descended. Time seemed to slow. Chu Feng raised a hand, palm open, and met the stone sword's fury head-on. What is he doing? Voices trembled from the crowd. And then, the impossible occurred. With a single palm, Chu Feng arrested the sword's descent. The Stone Sword Execution, heralded as the mightiest technique of the sect, shattered before him in a cataclysmic explosion. Dust and light roared outward as the stone sword crumbled into nothing. The crowd's astonishment froze their tongues. Their understanding of strength shattered along with the blade. Not content to merely stop the attack, Chu Feng's gaze swept to Sect Head Shi. Old bastard, he growled. Your life ends today. Descend and face your death. An invisible suction erupted from his palm, pulling the sect head from the sky. Shi Jingtian's cry rang out, sharp and startled, as his control faltered. Like a kite with its string cut, he flailed through the air, helplessly hurtling toward Chu Feng. Impossible, the crowd cried. The difference in their strength? It's unfathomable. This can't be the same Shi Jingtian who once chased Chu Feng into retreat. Shi, realizing the dire straits, called for aid. Lord Yan, help me. But even the intervention of a martial lord of rank 8, a surge of overwhelming suction and protective aura, could not wrest him from Chu Feng's grasp. The sect head spiraled downward, finally crashing into Chu Feng's hands. Old bastard, you dare harm the crippling Night Demon sect? You will pay with your flesh! Chu Feng's voice thundered. Rage, memories of past vengeance, and fury for the innocents wounded by Shi's hand fueled him. Without hesitation, he seized the sect head by the neck, tossing him as though he were mere straw. The air roared with the violent arc of Shi's body. Then, with a brutal slam, Chu Feng hurled him into a deep pit. Shi's scream was a raw, piercing sound, echoing off the stone walls. Yet Chu Feng's wrath was inexhaustible. He retrieved Shi from the pit with a single hand, his power bending flesh and bone alike. Blood spattered, and the sound of cracking bones rang like distant thunder. Shi's body twisted grotesquely under the force, organs failing, limbs fracturing. Still, Chu Feng's fury drove him further. With surgical precision, his palm plunged into Shi's arm, and with a cruel pull, he extracted the tendons, leaving raw, agonized screams echoing across the sect grounds. And as if this torment were not enough, Chu Feng extended his hand once more. In a final act of merciless wrath, he tore away the very skin from Shi Jingtian's face, leaving a visage of horror that would haunt the sect for a lifetime. His wrath was complete. A storm of justice wrought through martial might and the art of vengeance.